Hey, good morning, everybody. Peter Kima here. It is 8:31. We're a minute late for coffee talk this morning on a Friday morning. I hope you're doing well. You may notice that we are not coming to you live from the headquarters of the Kima Real Estate Group. Actually, we're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Kima family, right here at our home office in Wake Forest. Part of the reason for that is, quite frankly, my kids are on vacation. And when they're on vacation, it causes us to get going just a little bit later in the daytime. And we got a conference call this morning. So you combine those two things, and it just made sense for me to go ahead and do coffee talk here from the house this morning. So anyhow, good morning to you. Really excited. I'm not going to raise my Kima cup to you this morning, although I encourage you to do that. I am going to raise my new handmade stone coffee mug, still filled with coffee, mind you, to you this morning. And so a special thanks to my mom, who got us a set of really nice coffee mugs. She knows very, very well that that I love things that are handmade, that are either made out of stone or pottery or wood or those kind of things. So my Christmas basket this year was filled with things like that, and highlighted certainly by this set of coffee cups. So what is it that your Christmas basket that was full of that makes you so happy? Is there something in particular that I can't go wrong if I were to get you a gift if I stayed in this category? For me, again, if you buy me a stone or a pottery handmade coffee mug, I'm going to love you for it, quite frankly. Anyhow, good morning to you. And again, thanks to my mom for that wonderful gift. Hope your Christmas was good. It was fast. Not only was Christmas fast, but 2019 was really fast. I've been saying to my wife, Jennifer, recently, as I stop and really just kind of reflect on 2019, holy, wait a minute, stop. Let me a hard stop right there. This is a young man that grew up 15 minutes from the Oakland Coliseum with a deep, deep hatred once I got to New England, which is where I consider my home, for all things Red Sox and Patriots. And this morning, my friend Logan says anything with the Red Sox on it, that's like taking a big knife and just stabbing me with it, Logan. Good morning to you. I can promise you that you and I probably will not exchange gifts if that's where your love language lies, is with Red Sox stuff. And yes, all my New England friends, you know how I feel about that. Anyhow, I digress. I forgot where we were. What were we just talking about? Hold on, I've got an audience this morning. Jen, what was I just talking about?
You can't go wrong if you get yours.
Beyond that. No, never mind. Anyhow, so, I know. I was reflecting on 2019, right? And in 2019, we really got focused on business and really had a rebuilding of a foundation. Right? We had to change a lot of things in our businesses, and we had a fantastic year. Thanks to so many of you for trusting us, and so many of you for being our friends that are in the business. It's such a small industry, the real estate world, not just locally but nationally, that we lean on each other, because it's not always unicorns and rainbows and presents. It's oftentimes a lot of struggle when we are charged with representing people in what typically is their largest investment, their house. And if you take that really seriously, there's a lot of stress involved sometimes. And it's nice to have other real estate agents be there. My point here, where I'm coming full circle to, is we focus so much on building this foundation and kind of rebuilding the foundation for our house that I don't really remember 2019. Was it as fast of a year for you as it was for me? Now, every year they go by faster and faster with each and every passing year. I'm 30 point something at this point in my life, and years of age, that is. And one of the things I've noticed is that the years certainly fly by, but not like this year. This year was one of the fastest years, if not the fastest year in my life. There are things we did so many wonderful things, whether it be a trip to Oakland or a trip to Maine or watching our kids play ball, have a chance to coach them. And all those things, when I stop and really think about each one of those things, sure, they were fantastic. But 2019 was such a blur to me that I feel a little bit guilty that I wasn't present for a lot of it. I was there, but I wasn't present. You know what I mean by that? I remember when Cole was born, everybody wants to give you advice when you have a baby, right? And I am not real good at receiving advice, for those of you that know how strong-willed I am. One of the pieces of advice somebody gave us was stop and take a 10-second video of Cole every single day, and without fail, and don't make it 15 seconds. Make it a 10-second video, and then play that. And I got to be honest with you, that was the best piece of advice because it made you stop and look for moments to be present each and every day. That has now since gone because, taking a 10-second video of him either eating or playing basketball or Fortnite is not necessarily something I want on video anymore. That being said, the premise was so good and it was so rewarding that those first 5 years with Cole, I feel those. I still remember those. For those of you that tune in with some regularity, hey, good morning, Lisa. For those of you that tune in with some regularity may know that this year it kind of dawned on me that I don't remember the last 3 years with Cole. Cole, I don't remember him being 12, 13, 14, right? He's 15 years old now. And I thought to myself, and I talked to Jennifer about it, and I said, I don't want the next 3 years to go that quickly. And all of a sudden him be 18 and be out of the house and me think, well, I wasn't present for the last 6 years of his life. So we tapped the brakes a little bit. And I'm so glad I did this. And I encourage you to consider these kind of things, whether it be children or whatever it is in your life that you're in love with. And we booked that Oakland trip. And many of you know that Cole, Camden, and I flew out to Oakland, saw 3 or 4 baseball games, a Raider game. We went to the Coliseum every single day for about almost a week. And we lounged and relaxed. And that kind of thing really is what I intend to do, or use the word intend. I intend to do more of those kind of things. Not necessarily the big trips, but just being more present and just kind of letting life come. I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish that just yet. I know it's a mindset thing. It's not something physical. It's something that's up here. But I'm curious, as you head out of 2019 and you head into 2020, I know some people use words, hey, good morning. How are you, Kathleen? Good to see you. What is it that you're going to focus on? And are you really going to focus, or is it a wish? Is it an intention? What is it that is going to be a part of what you hope, wish, and intend to do in 2020? And I'm not talking about resolutions per se, right? Although in some ways, I guess that is, you're resolving to do something. Again, for me, what part of what I want to do is I want to be more present, not just in my family life, but my business life, and for me personally, right? We move so quickly, and this is not a pat on my own back. This is just the way it is. Sometimes you're thinking about doing stuff for other people so often that you forget to do things for yourself. And so I'm curious, as we sit here and we have our coffee together this morning, what are some of those things that are on your mind, even if you haven't put them together in a formalized thought yet, that are on your mind for 2020? And how did 2019 go for you? I've seen so many people post these, I can't wait for 2019 to be over. It was a horrible year. I'm ready to hit the reset button. And for those people, I'm glad the reset button is here, whatever that is, whether it's a new year or a birthday or whenever your reset button comes. I'm happy for you that you have that reset button. I'm also happy for those of you that are kind of wandering through this with me, this journey, and trying to figure out what's next, right? And so the nice thing about New Year's is that it gives us an opportunity to kind of wash off the old, bring in the new. We're kind of surrounded by that thought process, and I'm excited about that. So anyhow, more curious about that than anything else right now. Those are the things that are weighing heavily on my mind. I'm kind of got a working theory about something me and we, right? Meaning that last year, while it was focused a little bit more on business, I feel like that foundation is ramped up, and we're excited about 2020. And certainly, there's got to be some focus there. I'm also excited about focusing a little bit more on me, which, if you turn the M upside down, becomes a we, right? If you can focus on yourself, does that then allow you to help focus on the people around you? That's kind of a working theory I'm working on right now in these last couple of days of 2019. So we'll see. Anyhow, did you get a Christmas gift that you're returning? Are you one of the millions of Americans that are returning Christmas gifts in the last couple of days? Or I understand January 2nd is like the peak Christmas Day return. Are you one of those people? I am. I've got some gifts that are going back, not for being ungrateful, because some of them are duplicates. And while being very grateful for those gifts, certainly sometimes it just makes more sense to make the returns. But did you get something that was just tacky, gosh, ugly, that you're just going to go ahead and return, but you don't want to say it out loud in front of them? You can post it right here. You can share that with us. Anyhow, it was so warm over Christmas, it didn't necessarily feel like Christmas to this former New Englander. Although I'm going to really enjoy this weekend's warm weather. We're going to burn some brush and kind of do an early spring cleaning outside and get ready for spring, because it'll be here before you know it. We'll have buds on the trees on South Main Street right here in Wake Forest, which is the one place that I notice trees blooming before any other. Now, as we shift, and we just talked a lot about kind of your mindset about 2019 and 2020. Do you have a New Year's Eve tradition? We're looking. We don't really have a New Year's Eve tradition. Actually, we do. Here it is. I fight and stay up until midnight. Somebody goes upstairs and wakes up Jen, or she sets an alarm and comes back downstairs at midnight so we can all celebrate together, and then everybody goes right back to bed. That's been our tradition. It's a good, safe tradition. You know, for a couple of years we did fondue. We've done some different things. Maybe we got to an early dinner. But I'm curious, do you have a cool family tradition that you do that maybe we can steal from you? If you have something like that that you like to do, go ahead and share that to me. Ashley, I got it. You love Alexa, don't you? Keep an eye on your phone. For those of you that have Alexa in your house, you know what I'm talking about. Your phone will start having ads based on the things you're talking about in your home. I don't know why we don't talk about winning lottery tickets more often, honestly, in front of Alexa. But I digress. So again, traditions. Do you have anything that you do on Christmas Eve, or excuse me, New Year's Eve, that your family does that we could? So we're looking for something. We're thinking about going back to fondue this year, that kind of thing. And it's funny how that's changed through time. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, and going out partying every New Year's Eve with my friends and doing all those kind of things, my father and I would always make time, and he and I would kick off the end of the year and in the upcoming New Year by getting a couple of lobsters each and some mussels, and he and I would sit down and feast on lobsters and mussels. And we'd get cleaned up, and about 3 or 4 hours later, I'd head out to whatever the event was for the evening. Now it's all we can do to stay up past 10, right? And so I'm curious, looking for something with our family as we head into the new year. Got some really great news to share with everybody. So again, safe traditions are good. Yes, they are, Kathleen. So really good news to share with you. Those of you that tune in every week know that I come on here asking for parenting advice quite often. That's the one place where I will take some advice. My 15-year-old Cole has, I'll start with the end in mind. He pulled all A's and B's for his first semester of his sophomore year at Franklin Academy, which we're really excited about because we have really ridden him pretty hard. He didn't finish out his freshman year as strong as he or I would have liked him to. He made a little more of a focus. In the beginning of the sophomore year, he started out with all A's and a B and really had a good first quarter. Second quarter was about split 50-50 A's and B's, but he struggled a little bit in his midterms. But he had built, again, we'll go back to this building of a foundation. He built such a good foundation with his core grades that he was able to carry all A's and B's as he heads into the second semester of his sophomore year. So I raised my cup and my heart to Cole this morning, a kid who takes an awful lot of grief from this guy right here. Last thing I want to ask you about. So I am a big, I don't watch a lot of movies, and I can watch a movie 3 or 4 times and not realize I've seen that movie. I know nothing about actors, pop culture, actresses, any of those kind of things. I'm still stuck in Tom Cruise, Bruce Willis, that kind of generation. That being said, I watched a movie this week called Donnie Brasco. It's a movie, a mobster movie, which I love that kind of thing. I don't do science fiction, so I know so many of you are racing out to go see Star Wars. Jay, I like it. That's good, Jay. But so many of you race out to see Star Wars and science fiction, and I've seen it, and it's good. I don't love it. It doesn't float my boat. I like things that could happen. Things like The Bourne Identity, because that could happen. But Donnie Brasco, those kind of old-time mobster movies where they use words like "forget about it" and things like that. I love that kind of thing. I started watching The Irishman last night. I am looking for my next movie. Do you have a movie that I have to see that is really, really good? Other movies that I've liked, Shutter Island, something with a major twist at the end, that kind of a thing. So I'm looking for your recommendations for a upcoming snowy night that we may get for a movie that I could go watch. Knowing those things about me, go ahead and shoot me your recommendations. So I'm going to wrap this up really quickly. We're going to talk just briefly about real estate because this is more about the end of the year and the upcoming new year. But I'm going to wrap this up with a couple of things. The first thing about real estate is this. The market is its low point for the year. We're just over 7,000 homes active in the market right now. We're just barely, though, over 2 months of inventory. Inventory is at such a low mark right now. Now, not unusual for that to happen at the end of December, beginning of January, right? That we're pretty typical. However, we are about to dip under 2 months worth of inventory for the first time in a long, long time, guys. It's going to be an interesting beginning of 2020. If you're looking to buy a home in this market, please find somebody who knows what they're doing because you could lose out on your dream home by having a part-time agent or an agent that doesn't have the experience to help you get what you want. If you need an agent like that, there's plenty of good ones out there. And so many of my friends that are on here are wonderful and absolutely incredible agents, and I encourage you to work with them. But if you don't have an agent looking for somebody, call us. We've got a couple of agents on our buyer team right now just that would love to help you. that have the time and the ability to help get you the best deal and help you move on to the next stage of your life. That being said, the last thing I want to leave you with is my buddy got a new bed, so that means I got to move his dog bed right here into the office. So Ozzy now gets to hang out with me in the office every time I'm at home. That's my buddy right there. So Happy New Year from Ozzy. Happy New Year from the Kima Real Estate Group and the Kima family. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday, and I'll see you next week.